So great to see, all my friends are here. Come play with me, watch out for rabbits here. Everyone who's anyone is welcome here. So come on, let's have some fun. Sing along with me. Start your day with a dose of Reitanna.
Hey everybody, it's Reitanna Seishin. I don't know if I've ever actually mentioned this, or even talked about it. I have something called Trichotillomania, or Tricho, or TTM. What that is, and it affects women mostly. What it is the, well, in my words, the compulsive desire to pluck out your own hair. Let's see what the actual definition is. What I got was an irresistible urge to pull out your own hair, the compulsion to tear or pluck out the hair on one's head and face and often ingest it. I don't know about that one. That's disgusting. And a normal desire to pull out one's hair, recurrent pulling of one's hair resulting in noticeable hair loss. So basically, it's pretty serious in most cases. As you can tell by my hair, I've got pretty, well, I'm parting it way differently than I usually do, but I've got pretty decently thick hair. The thing about it is, I'm pretty sure that I've had it since I was younger because, well, I'll get into that in a moment. My hair is very fine and sometimes very hard to style. This has so much product in it that it's like not even funny, and the strongest hairspray I can find. And it's fine, but there's a difference between fine and thin, or coarse and thick. See, someone can have coarse hair but very thin hair, because coarse is the diameter of the hair. So the smallest circle, oh, you can't see, it's too bright. The smallest circle is fine hair, the one in the middle is medium, and the larger one is coarse hair. The density is how much hair you have on your head. So you can have thin hair, which means you don't have very much hair, and coarse hair, which means it's a thicker strand, or you can have fine hair, like me, and have a lot of hair. I have really dense hair. I used to think that I had really thin hair until my cutting teacher was cutting my hair, and she was like, "You have a lot of hair," and I was like, "Really?" So it was good to hear that. So basically, it all really started when I was younger. I don't remember what age I started doing it. I think it was about 9 or 10. Yeah, because I was in 5th grade, so I was 10. I started pulling out my own eyelashes and my own eyebrows. I never started plucking from my head. And that continued for a really long time. I mean, I hate to admit this, but it still does continue. I don't know if I've actually talked about this, but the reason why I draw my eyebrows, the excuse I make is that I have blonde hair and they're really light. That is true, but even before I started plucking out my eyebrows, they were visible. The reason is because I plucked my eyebrows so much, like not around it like you're supposed to, but in it, that it's damaged the hair follicles and it won't grow back. Sometimes I have little black hairs that pop out around the eyebrow, but most of it is really light, fine hair in the eyebrow. So that sucks. With the eyelash problem, I've gotten a lot better. I used to be really bad. Like it was a noticeable spot, like a gap in my eyelashes. But I've been able to try and stop myself from doing that by reminding myself, okay, listen, you're a girl and you want full eyelashes, stop it. And I've also been using the serum that L'Oreal makes to make eyelashes stronger, so that helps. So that started when I was 10, and you can actually see it. I've got a couple of pictures from when I was 14. I hate these pictures. So you can see in a couple of these it's really full in the beginning, but towards the middle you can see that it's a little less dense. And even, you know, you can see how thin they were. I didn't draw on my eyebrows when I first started having black hair. And all the ones on the blonde one, there's this little, it's always in the middle that I plucked from. This one is one of the black hair. Doesn't even look like I have eyebrows. It looks like fucking Marilyn Manson. So, and that one too. It's just like, ugh. I hate these goth pictures though. And then I started drawing on my eyebrows. Actually, this picture, CDLKS, I photoshopped eyebrows in because I was so ashamed. But then I started drawing on my eyebrows, and you can tell from when I was 17 and 18 that they're really thin and really uneven, because it wasn't until I took makeup class that I actually started drawing attractive eyebrows on my face, because I knew how to shape them and I knew how to make them even. So now they say that trichotillomania is triggered by a traumatic event or stressful event. I don't know if you noticed, but I had a CP173 here. And I started doing that when I was forced to move to California. Now I don't regret it, but I literally was forced here. Like, I would come see my grandmother every summer, and then I'd go back to Idaho and live with my mother. But then, I guess while I was visiting, my mother got evicted again for like 20th time, and so she had to come down here, and I was forced to stay in California, and I really didn't like that because I had to switch schools, I was leaving friends, and you know, I grew up as a country girl, and I didn't know if I could adapt to the city, which obviously I have adapted to the city now. And my grandmother is very mean. Like, we couldn't get along because of how just, why is my whole family fucked up except for my brother? Anyway, so that triggered me pulling out my eyelashes and my eyebrows. I think it started with, I kind of pulled out one, and then it kind of left a sort of stinging pain, which made me think that in order to get rid of the pain I had to pull more. And I was just like, and then I totally regretting it after, you know, most of it's gone. I'm like, why did I do that? Oh, this isn't normal. So after I tried to control myself with that problem, I turned 16, and this didn't happen right after I turned 16. It was the summer. I was in summer school, and it wasn't because I failed a class. It was because I'm very bad at history, just because it's so boring that I can't pay attention. So I decided to go to summer school to take history classes so that it would go by so quickly that I wouldn't have a chance to miss out on it. I wouldn't have a chance to not pay attention, because it would go so quick that I'd be like, oh my god, I have so much to do, blah, 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 blah. And I ended up passing really well. But in the first quote-unquote semester of world history? No, U.S. history, I had a really horrible teacher, and most of the students in there were making fun of me. So I had a really horrible experience during that time, and I noticed this. I remember specifically what was happening. I had finished a short essay, and I was doodling on the margins, and as I was doodling, I was just sitting there picking, pluck, 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 and I didn't even notice until like after a while when I kind of felt, and it was a little bald patch, just very small, about this size, and it was kind of like, you know, it was stinging obviously, and I was like, I just pulled out my own hair. And then I realized that I kept doing it. I couldn't stop. And usually it's in this area or near the mastoid, and sometimes it's from right up here. Now, I don't have it nearly as bad as some women. Some women literally develop bald spots, like huge bald spots, and I'm thankful that I didn't get that bad. But I did get pretty bad at some point, to the point where my classmates, were like, your hair looks thin, and they thought that it was because I was coloring my hair so much. And I used that as an excuse, because I didn't want them to know that I was pulling out my hair. It's really embarrassing, especially when you don't realize you're doing it and someone catches you doing it, and you're just like, why the fuck am I doing that? And because of that, where I've plucked before, a lot of coarse, black, wavy hair has developed in certain areas of my hair. And that's what I go for some reason. I search, and I either go for the coarse, wavy hair or very, very fine hair, which I find up here is like the downy hair, and also very short pieces of hair, which are probably the regrowth of the result of me plucking. And it got to the point where in high school, when I was 18, my hair looked extremely thin. Especially you could see it when I had the pink hair and the blue hair. You could see in the front. In the front was one of my main targets. You could see that it's really thin there. You could see my scalp. That was a bald patch that was forming. When I had blue hair, it wasn't as bad because I stopped pulling it from the front. I started pulling it from under. Excuse me. But all the pink hair, because you could see when I had blonde hair, when I had my natural hair, it was full and, rather pretty if I had just taken care of it. So thin. You could see how thin my pigtails were. My kitty cattish hooks. Oh my god, it's a fluffy kitty. She's flexing her paws. I want a kitten. Anyway, you can almost see it when I had the brown hair too, when I was transitioning out of my black hair. But mainly when I have the pink hair, you could just tell how thin my hair was. And I wish I had an accidental picture of this, but I would do it involuntarily, usually when I'm bored or nervous. So I'll be sitting on my bed watching TV, and I'll just sit there plucking it, and I would just drop it next to my bed, in between my bed and my nightstand, and at some point there's just this huge clump of hair that I ended up having to throw away when I cleaned my room, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I could make another me with this. And that's really when I tried my best to really stop, because I was like, if I continue this, I'm gonna have no hair. And being an artist and being so into beauty, like cosmetics and styling stuff and fashion and just being into all that kind of stuff and being so eccentric, my hair is part of my world. It's part of my life. Hello, I'm a licensed hairstylist. So if I had no hair, well, of course I do like wigs, but it still wouldn't feel good to not have hair, to not be able to show my own hair in public. I'd be okay wearing wigs. I could survive. Unlike, some women who have trichotillomania are less eccentric than me, and they have to wear hair pieces and stuff. I feel really sorry for the ones with really extreme cases. But I've tried a couple of things. I've tried wearing hats to stop myself from plucking, which works, but you can only wear a hat for so long, especially I can't wear a hat when I'm at work. I've tried to wear gloves so that I can't get a hold of my hair, but it gets warm, so if I keep my hands busy, usually I won't pluck, which is really difficult when I'm at work. So that's why I have to have a pen, a clicky pen. If I don't have a clicky pen, I end up pulling out a lot of my hair at work up at the register because I'm bored or I'm nervous. So I have to have a clicky pen, and I'm constantly doing this. And sometimes I'll just pace back and forth. And I've noticed that I also have to carry the clicky pen with me while I'm facing, which is straightening the front aisles, because otherwise I will start pulling out my hair. And this annoys me and it annoys others, but I have to do something. And that's part of the reason why I draw up at the register too. And really the only manager who doesn't get it is Brian. And, you know, my old manager Tammy totally understood. I was like, I have trichotillomania, and she was like, you gotta keep your hands busy. So, you know, and it's not like I'm slacking off when customers come up to the counter. I mean, I hide the drawing from the customer. I don't even try to hide it from my managers because they know. I know Brian knows. So I don't hide it from him, even though I know that he doesn't approve of it. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm not doing it to my bosses, but I don't want the customers to see, you know. Sometimes they do, and some of them are interested in it, and I don't care, but I want to try my best to make it look like that I'm paying attention to them. So, clicking the pen, and I think the more that I pluck, the coarser, and the more wavy, and the darker the hair gets. Basically, what I'm looking for, I don't know what is, just what I'm looking for is when I pull out the hair, I want to feel the entire thing come out of the follicle, and that damages the hair follicles. It makes it harder for the hair to grow back. And if I accidentally, like, break the skin, or sometimes it'll get inflamed, it hurts, which makes me want to pluck more to make the pain go away or something. I don't even know what the fuck causes this. There's no medication, there's no therapy, there's, well, I guess self-therapy. It's really hard, it's really difficult. There's really no cure for it. You just gotta have so much self-control, and it's really difficult when you're a nervous wreck like me. I have manic depression, so obviously there is anxiety built in there. You know, it's been better since I've been on this Paxil, because I feel so great. It's not like a high feeling, like I'm like, dude, it's like I feel stabilized, and I feel like nothing bothers me. Like, I just feel so relaxed and so laid back, and I'm just like if someone annoys me, I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. Whereas if my meds were to wear off, or I forgot to take them, I'd be like, it would be the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't be able to let it go. I would just be like, what the fuck, man, I'm gonna freaking torture you until you insult me, and I'll start crying because I make a mountain out of a molehill. So it feels really nice to be on something that actually works and to be on the right dosage, because just ever since I felt this, compared to most of my life having manic depression with no medication, I was diagnosed when I was 12, just I see the difference and how ridiculous my behavior has been in the past, but I couldn't control it because it felt like my world was falling apart. And that happens too. Whenever my medication starts to wear off, you know, because I go extremely quiet. And if I suddenly go extremely quiet, or if I don't respond to you, you need to know to ask me, did you take your medicine? Or what time is it? You know, is it 6 o'clock? Did you take your medicine? Then, you know, and of course with manic depression there's also the manic side, so, but oftentimes with how laid down my heart is, my conscience, my mind, with all this shit, it usually goes to the depressed side. But a lot of times people find it harder to detect that I haven't taken my medicine when I go onto the manic side, because it just looks like I'm really happy and bubbly. And yes, I'm a really and yes, I'm a very happy and very bubbly person. But when my medication runs out, take the video tomato sauce and scale it by 10. Multiply that by 10. It's an obnoxious amount of happy. It's either no matter if you're manic or if you're depressed, it's childlike behavior on both spectrums. It's like, it's bouncing off the walls, it's not listening to you, it's basically like you're dealing with a child, and it's not controllable. So, you know, being on the medication and noticing the difference of that, I'm just like, I feel like where I'm supposed to be. And now I'm scared. Not because I'm happy, but because what would happen if I can't have my medication anymore? Right now, that fear is kind of in my mind right now because my insurance has expired, and I'm trying to get it renewed, and it's just so completely annoying. So, of course, since I'm stabilized and content, it's not eating away at me. It is worrying me, but what the fuck is that icon? Windows is downloading up to... Okay. Like, what's on my computer? Yeah, so Trichotillomania. There's also Dermatillomania, which I'm not exactly sure exactly what that is. I mean, I know it's picking at your skin, but I don't know if it's just regularly like just picking at random skin, or if it's I have a over excessive habit of picking at my scabs. I don't know if that would count, but I don't know. And it's especially the top of the hair that I'm worried about when I keep pulling it from the top. I'm just like, stop it. And I have Mike knows about it, so he knows to stop me. Laura knows about it, so she knows to stop me. And now you guys know about it. And it's easier to admit it to you guys. Why did I pick this up? It's easier to admit it to you guys because you don't know me in person. But I know if you were to meet me in person, if you ever brought up the topic, I'd feel kind of awkward. But for people who I'm not so close with in the real world, or strangers that I see at work, I don't want to admit that. They say, you draw on your eyebrows. I'm like, yeah, because I'm so blonde and that it looks like I have no eyebrows. That's not true. It's that I pulled them all out when I was younger, and now they don't grow back. But I don't want to admit that to anybody. That's embarrassing. That's like admitting that you're a nail biter, or, I used to bite my nails too, but as soon as I found out they were dead skin, which is just keratin, it grossed me out, so I stopped biting them. Thank God, because now I've got nice long nails. The better to pluck my hair out with. Everybody has disgusting or embarrassing habits, but some people with trichotillomania will pull the hair off of their arms or their legs. I would rather be doing that than pulling it off of my hair or off my face. Oh, why? And like I said, it's done when either I'm bored or nervous, and when I'm at work, it's usually nervous, especially if Brian's there, because he's the one that I'm scared of. So, I don't know. I just have to try and motivate myself to not. And one of the worst parts about it is my hair is fine, and I have an oily type skin. I will admit that. There's nothing I can do about that. So my hair does get oily frequently. So I have to take about 3 showers a week. And that sucks because I color my hair with semi-permanent hair color, which fades out fairly quickly. But if I'm pulling at my hair, I'm pulling, from the root, and I'm searching for a hair to pull, so I'll be pulling from the root down the cuticle, which is moving the natural oils from your scalp down the hair, which makes my hair greasier faster. But I take care of my hair color not only because I get the good stuff that lasts for a couple of months, but I also I wash and rinse my hair with freezing cold water, as cold as I can stand it, which keeps the cuticle closed. I also use Tresemme color protecting shampoo. I do not use conditioner in my hair because it gets oily so quickly. And my hair, right now it has gobs of hairspray in it, so you can't really tell, but if you were to feel my hair, it is soft. Like, it is too soft to have been bleached so many times in one sitting. Like, seriously, people who tell me that I'm damaging my hair, I just go, I'm sorry, how long have you been a hairdresser? Just because I've only been a hairdresser for like 2 years, and I've not actually worked in a salon, doesn't mean they know more than I do. I know exactly what's happening in my hair. I am very prepared if my hair gets damaged. And every time I color my hair, I go, okay, this is what I'm going to do if my ends get fried. But it never happens. my hair has never, like, even the first time that I bleached it after being, you could tell that it's still smooth. Just, my hair has never been damaged. I think as dry as it's been is when my hair was natural. It was frizzy and dry and wasn't very shiny as far as I can tell in these pictures. Is that really all that I put in there? So, yeah. Hair! TTM. Fun stuff. So, if you're a woman or a male, I've never met any guys who do this, but if you're a person that plucks out your hair, just randomly, just not even noticing you're doing it. I'm sorry to say it, but you've got TTM. And you need to try to stop or you're gonna lose your hair. I'm one of the lucky ones that I didn't get to the point where I had one of the more severe cases of where I've got this big bald patch on my head. So, fun in the sun. But my hair definitely looks even more full while it's short. It's always looked full when it's short. So, I like my hair when it's short. I don't like it long. So yeah, now that I've wasted a half an hour talking about Trichotillomania, today's a video day. And it's gonna take forever for me to edit this, and I've got stuff to do, and I've got a list that I haven't been following. You know, the one good thing about not having eyebrows, though, is that I can change my eyebrow color to match my hair. If I go blonde, I'm not gonna have black eyebrows, I'm gonna have brown eyebrows. When I'm Miku, I can make my eyebrows blue, but I usually just do my eyebrows black whenever I do like Miku or Gumi or Konata or something like that. But yeah, and I'll do my eyebrows black when I have my white wig on too that I had when I was doing the Time music video. So yeah, and I can change the shape of my eyebrows if I want to, biatch. And when I'm L, I just wipe the eyebrows off. Voila, you got L, no eyebrows. So on the upside, I'm more versatile than you. Ooh, don't blink, you'll die. Anyway, so subscribe, spread the word of awesome, and become a Reitannite. And we'll see you in the next video. Tamatashita. Bye bye.